You know what? I'm sitting there talking and I hadn't put myself in the stream. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so you can see from the image that tonight we will be talking about Team Beachbody. As a matter of fact, we will be looking at a team call, and this particular call really kind of spoke to me because it reminded of me so very much. This totally would be me if I were to have a team call, which I never had two people at the same time that, would get on a call. So that just never happened. But I attended a whole bunch of them. Hey, Rachel. Hey, Angel. How are you guys doing? So that's what we're doing tonight is checking it out. It's not a super long, meeting or anything, but I think I can talk about it from the perspective of the person who is hosting it. So without any further ado, I am going to share that. And I'm hoping there is no echo or anything. I'm wearing headphones and my earrings are like poking the heck out of me, which is a bit on the annoying side. Okay, here we go. All right. So let's do it, shall we?
Okay. Record. Okay, so the thing I really felt I wanted to talk about today was staying in your own lane and just how to kind of put the blinders on and stay in your business and not worry about all the other things going on. Because I feel like this is something I've struggled with in the past and still do. And I know I've talked to several coaches on our team, and it's just one of those things like just we don't live in a bubble. We live on social media where you see all this other stuff. And there's other products, there's other programs, there's other coaches, like there's so much stuff and it's easy to see. So it's hard, like, especially if you don't feel like, you're where you want to be yet. It's easy to see everything else going on and like get caught up in it. So things like, you're all of a sudden you see one of your customers join someone else, like is starting a new program. They're trying something else, or you have a friend that started this side business that kind of competes with yours. Or
Okay, I just want to say when I was a Beachbody coach, I can remember, thinking, oh, I'm offering this, amazing workout stuff to the people I know. And I would just internally, I didn't say anything to them, but I would just get angry and disappointed if somebody was doing something else. Like if they got involved of doing a different type of workout and it's like they just gave me no, never mind. It always felt like almost like a slap in the face. I felt very offended by it. Now, is that right for me to feel offended by that? Well, I mean, I think it depends on what you're offering. And at the time, and I didn't know what multi-level marketing was when I was a Beachbody coach. I had no idea. And so people that did get involved in other things and other workout programs or diets or whatever, maybe they knew what it was and I didn't know they knew what it was. And so they didn't want my janky stuff, but they were being polite, not saying anything. So that could have been part of it, but I definitely feel this.
or someone literally on your team joined another team or joined trying something else, or you just see these things on social media, and it just puts you in a bad place when you see it. So the first thing I kind of wanted to ask was just like, let's say you see something like that, you see something's coming to mind probably that you've seen. How did it make you feel? What are words you would describe on what feelings those bring up for you? You guys can just unmute yourself and say it since there's only two of you.
Disappointment, frustration.
Yes.
The example that I have, I've known this person so long, so it was almost like angst to care.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. So I wrote down too, frustrated, kind of like personally attacked. It almost like an attack on you. You feel like they don't trust you, and the other word I'm to think about, sorry. The other word, I can't think of the word I'm trying to come up with, but it's when they like leave you, not betrayal, but it's something like that. Like you feel almost betrayed, just like, and I think we feel like that because we love.
I think the use of betrayal, that's what I was really trying to come up with before, but that's how I felt. It's like, I'm your friend, you know me, and I remember specifically my best friend from college. And I had told her, like I was basically inviting her to do a program or something. Well, she got with another friend who was selling Plexus of all things, and which of course don't have workouts or anything. And so I was still trying to get her convinced that she should be doing Beachbody. And then she decided to join a gym, and I got just internally, I was just so disappointed and so mad. And I felt betrayed by, one of my best friends. And, and it's not that she knew what multi-level marketing was, because she did this Plexus thing and she'd already spent money on that, but she wasn't willing to, take a chance on what I was doing. So it really did feel bad. It made me feel bad about myself, and like, maybe, like, I just really can't do this thing. I'm not good enough to be able to get ahead of it. I'm not sure if that's making sense to you guys or not, but that's how I felt.
Of our stuff. Like, there's a reason we are coaches, and we share it with people because we love our workouts. We love our products. We love our business. We love what we do. And it's so much like a part of us now because of how much it's been life-changing for us, that when other people don't catch that fire, or when other people don't find that same passion or fire or results that we do feel it's like a personal attack on us almost, I feel like. And I think that's why it hurts so much. So here's my thing too, is like, what happens when you see these things? So my example is, I had a girl that she joined me, her and her husband joined me for a challenge group when I was doing the like couples one. So this is way back for Double Time, when it was like a 2-person workout that you did together. So she joined me for that. She did it for a month. She did the workouts very faithfully. For the first time in her life, she did workouts. She drank her shake. She kept ordering them for a few months, and then she just like fell off, just, fell off the wagon. Like, how many people, have done that? And then pretty soon, I see her, and
I just want to say, I mean, that's typical. People stay on Shakeology maybe 3 or 4 months. It's expensive. Even if you're a coach, it's $99, but regular price, I want to say it's like $129.95 a month for a bag of powder. I mean, that's a lot of money. But I can remember also, like, people who I did have signed up as coaches, and they would be buying the Shakeology. And of course, I get volume points for them getting that. I don't get money, but the volume points translated into money. Once you get 300 volume points, I'd get a whole $14. Woo! Then I could say, look what my MLM did. I can go out and get a coffee. That's pretty much all you can get with that, But yeah, that's just, this entire call brings up a lot of the angst and self-doubt and the emotions basically that I felt while I was a Beachbody coach, and while I was, working my butt off so many hours to go nowhere, and putting so much into it. And I kind of see myself in their shoes. I'm kind of thinking like, look, totally, this would be me. Totally would. I've already said that, but it totally is me.
she had 0 results, like didn't see anything, because she changed nothing nutrition-wise, right? So then all of a sudden I see she's starting to do this new program, and she all of a sudden saw amazing results in 6 weeks. And now she signed up to be a consultant for them. And now she's in my close friend group. And so like, I start to see one of my really close friends that used to be a discount coach with me is now going to do her program. And then I see a coach from our team left our team and started doing her program. And this is a coach that lived 5-6 hours away from us, and there's no way she personally knows her. And so I'm like starting to think this coach, this other friend of mine, or this other acquaintance, whatever, was going through my friends list, and she's probably friending all my people, and she's probably taking all of my customers, and she's probably reaching out to them and saying, hey, I've tried that too, it didn't work for me, so you should try this too, because this worked for me. And she's sharing that in her post, like, oh, Beachbody in those colored containers didn't work for me, but this works for me. And so my people are seeing that, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And it really got in my head and got me down, and I couldn't send out invites, and I couldn't, like, Now,
meanwhile, as a Beachbody coach, just a reminder, it's not as if you have a background in nutrition, nor as a personal trainer or anything. And I mean, and I can remember feeling like that too, that people are seeing other things and, oh, my college best friend, you won't believe what happened with this. And I was so angry. I mean, I'm so angry about this. But Beachbody has colored containers for portion control. And I had told her about this because, she was interested in changing the way she was eating and everything. Well, she went to like Marshall's or TJ Maxx, and there were some containers there, not Beachbody ones, but something else. She took a picture of them, or maybe even at a dollar store, and then sent it to me. I was absolutely livid. I thought that was just such a rude thing to do. I still pretty much think it's a rude thing to do because it's like, it's one thing to say no, it's another thing to be like, oh, look, I can get this from here for this amount. It just felt like a slap in the face. Bringing up all my old stuff.
I just all of a sudden just felt like everybody was going to leave me and my entire business was going to blow up in my face. So for a while, I was very fixated on this, and I would watch her stories, watch her posts. What's she doing? What was she saying? Who was she talking to? Who else was joining her that was going to take her in the stories that I used to work with? But every time I'd see it, it would crush my mindset, right? Like it'd put me in a really bad place and it would put me in a negative spot for the day. I would be down on myself, down on my business, I wouldn't want to, I just didn't shine the light that I have because it crushed me. So that's when I knew like something had to change. And if I wanted this yet, I had to change my mindset, change what was happening, and I had to take control of the situation. And what I've like come to like,
okay, this triggers me to hear about changing your mindset and everything, because it goes back to there's something wrong with you. It couldn't possibly be the structure of any of this. It couldn't possibly be that there's a bazillion coaches everywhere. It couldn't be possible that MLM overall is janky as all get out. Nope, couldn't be that. It's got to be your mindset. So you got to change yourself and, refocus. That just, I think it's such a crock of shit. I didn't used to. I believed it. And let me tell you, I was one happy, peppy, go-getter kind of a gal in this. And how much did that really help me? It didn't. It just kept me attached to the MLM for a longer period of time because I believed that I needed to keep working on myself, that there was something not right about me, and that's why I was not having success, which is totally not true.
Realizes that everyone's on their own journey, right? We all are on our own journey. We're all trying to figure out what is helpful for us to become the best person that we want to be, to help us live the life that we want to live. And this has worked for us, but obviously it's not going to work for everybody else. And maybe this is going to work for someone, and maybe that's going to work for someone, but it's not like it's personally attacking us. They're just trying to find their own way too. It's not that they don't like us and they don't like our stuff and they don't trust us. It's literally they're just trying to find their own way too. We can't control anybody else. We can't control what they do. We can't control if they see results. We can't control if they actually do the program, because if they do, we know we'll see results. But we can't control if they're going to do it. We can't control if they like it. We can't control those things. What we can control is our actions, our response, our attitude. And so we have to remember that, and you have to stay in control of what you can control. So I wrote down.
Now, I will say part of that I agree with. I mean, because the only thing that you can control is yourself. But when it starts getting back into the whole mindset kind of thing and your attitude, that starts where I feel like it goes back into law of attraction and all of that, that you just got to keep on working at yourself. And, you got to have affirmations. And that's kind of where I go to in my headspace. I don't know about you guys.
5 different things on just things to remember about this when it starts to become an issue, and things just to keep in your head. So number 1 is that we cannot control anybody else. We can only control ourselves, our attitude, and our response. And I tell my son that a lot. Like, buddy, you can't control what someone did to you. We can't control what they say to you. You can only control yourself and how you treat other people and how you respond to them. Number 2, everyone has their own story. So share yours. Because here's the thing, like, yes, there's a million different programs out there. There's a million different fitness programs. There's a million different nutrition programs. There's a million different side gigs people can do. There's a million different whatever. Like, there's so many things, but you are unique in what you do in your story. Ashley's story is different than my story. Maggie's different than Ashley's story. Like, we all have our own story. So we're all going to speak to different people. So just remember to share your story, because we get so caught up in, oh my gosh, they're going to steal all my people, that we forget, like, we tell our story and our people are going to respond to our story. They're not going to respond to that. Your people love you. Your people trust you. They joined you for a reason, and you have to have faith in that. You have to have faith in the fact that they joined you because of what you're sharing, and something you talk about, something you do, something you've showed them, something you've inspired them. They joined you for a reason, because that you spoke to them. So you keep speaking your story. You keep speaking your truth. You keep.
Most likely, those who joined are someone that you know, and they did it out of a place of love, because they're like, okay, because I mean, I faced this. I know another very good friend of mine I met at work years ago, and she got Beachbody on demand. She got the Shakeology and everything, but she didn't do Shakeology month to month. It was just, she got Beachbody on demand. And they're not doing it because they think that the programs are so great or anything. They're doing it to get you to shut up and to just kind of like, okay, fine, I'll do this. And they're doing it because they love you. And that's really not a good reason to buy something that you probably don't really want. And I found out later, I spoke to her, I don't know, maybe 6 to 8 weeks ago, and I apologized to her because I felt really bad. And she told me that she knew what it was at the time, but didn't want to say anything to me. So people are probably facing that as well, that these other people know what this is because they're going to remember some other thing, maybe that they joined or that their mother joined or their aunt joined or somebody that they know. And they're seeing it for what it is, but they know they can't really say anything to you, and you're just going to keep on going at it. And they're just like, okay, fine, here you go. Yeah, I'm doing it. But they're not into it, not the way that you are. Because boy, I was all in to everything, running around all over the internet.
Keep shining your light. And if that is still going to attract your people, and it's still going to speak to the people that need what we have. And the other thing is, we don't want people that are not going to be as passionate about us. They steal our energy in a different way too. So I don't know if you felt that too, but like the people that have left me and joined other things, they were joy stealers for me. Like, they took more energy and they took that joy out of it for me. Like, you ladies, do not steal joy from me. You bring joy to me. Like, those are the people I want on my team, because you love it as much as I do. I don't have to breathe into you belief that like, this can do it. Like, you guys know that. Like, yeah, we all have our moments where we like get in our head and we're like, I don't know if this is for me. Everybody has that. That's normal. But to just like, to actually leave and go.
Wow. Okay. That's normal to wonder. I don't know if this is it for me. And believe me, I had those thoughts too, but I pushed it all aside. And that's what you will do. You will push aside your common sense that's screaming at you that something is rotten in Denmark, but you're not willing to see it.
Go do something else. Like, great, go, because I'm not going to try to talk you into staying if that's the case. I want the people that want to be here. So you just bless and release them and keep your energy for the people that are here for you.
Okay, I really hate the bless and release, and I heard that so many times, and I said it too. And it's a way for you to kind of feel like you're in charge of everything. Meanwhile, you're being rejected left, right, and center because nobody wants to be part of your MLM.
Number 3, believe that there are enough clients out there for everybody. So that's one thing I started like getting on myself too, is like, oh my gosh, she's going to take all the people. And it's like, do you ever go to the store? Do you ever go to a concert? Do you ever go, there's a lot of people out there that need our help. There's a lot of people out there that are still needing that solution. that we have. So you have to have that abundance mindset. There's people.
Oh, good gravy. The abundance mindset can just, I am so sick and tired of hearing that. It goes back to law of attraction shit, you know? Have the abundance mindset. There's plenty out there for everyone. You just have to picture it. You have to believe it. You have to, envision it and focus on who you want to be and be that person now. Oh, God, blow it out your ear.
For everyone. There's enough people for them to be successful and building a business. There's enough people for us to be successful and build a business. All the people on our team can have enough people and build a business. You have to have that abundance mindset, not that scarcity mindset. Number 4, expand your network.
Yes, when you join, instead of being called a distributor or something, you're called a coach. You become a Beachbody coach. And then your first rank is Emerald. I made it to that. So I was an Emerald coach. But that's just the word that they use to call their distributors. It doesn't mean anything. And coach within Beachbody gets a lot of flack because there are people out there who are personal trainers and stuff, and there are actual coaches for different sporting things. So it becomes very problematic. People don't seem to realize it's just a word. It's just a word in this context for distributor, and that's it.
And grow. So that was another thing too, because my friend is local and in my friend group and goes to all the same things I do. I was like, well, she's going to speak to all the people that I speak to. So that's when I was like, all right, I need to go to Instagram and I need to nationally grow my account to people all in the United States. That why would, she's not going to find these same people that I'm going to find, and that she's not going to speak to them the same way. So grow your network. That is one thing you always have to be doing. When you don't feel like there's people that you have to talk to, that's because you're probably not growing your network. And then the last one is unfollow them. Don't watch their stories. Don't watch their posts. Stay in your own lane. So I finally got to the point where I just had to unfollow her account. I had to hide her from my news feed so it never pops up. The only way I see her stuff is if I literally type her in and search her. And I know when I'm going to type her in, it's not a good thing. Don't do it. Don't do it. So you just have to stay in your own lane and just share what you're doing and share your journey and just keep that mind on the straight and narrow and doing what you're doing. We have a light to shine, and we do have, you wouldn't have had anybody join you yet if you did not have a story to tell and you did not have light to shine. You do. So you have to just keep staying in your lane and just sharing your story. So those are the things that to me have been the most helpful, because that has been a big thing for me over the last couple of years, because that hurts every time you see it. But just building that different mindset and helps, because it's not going to be the last time. We're all going to have that happen to us yet. There's still going to be people that leave us for other things. There's still going to be people that leave our team and do something else and are going to be successful at something else. And that's great. I have to go back and think, what am I actually here for? I am here to help people. And if I want the best for someone, maybe the best is something else for them. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We all have our own thing in life. So that's when we have to just put our pride aside and clap for them and say, good for you. And I'm going to just show you that this still works for me and I don't need to change it. Right. So, so that's all I kind of wanted to, those are the points that I had to make. Do you guys have anything to add or anything that kind of reminded you of?
So I definitely needed this, especially because of recently she's still a challenger. And I actually just today.
Okay. And so, she said she's still a challenger. When you're a Beachbody coach, you host what's called a challenge group. And that is either through the app, so you just have it on your phone, or back in the day when I did it, you created a Facebook group. And some people still like to create Facebook groups. And within there, you post your sweaty selfies, you put in recipes. It's an accountability group. And that's what you basically call it, is when you get this from me, you get my exclusive accountability group. Oh, puppy, please. I mean, it's nothing special. And you know what? I was the only person in my damn groups that did anything. I mean, every single day I was in there just pushing that boulder uphill. Nobody else cared, because guess what? Other people have lives and they don't want to be around Beachbody, Beachbody 24/7, 365, the way I did back in the day. But I didn't know it.
Anyway, so she was a challenger. I've known her pretty much my whole life, since kindergarten. All the things, right? So then she became a coach. She did it really good. She hit Emerald like right away. Things were going great. She saw the income. It was fantastic. And then she just, couldn't get people to join her, can't get people to sign up, can't do this. And so I kind of just said, well, what approach are you giving it? And really like gave her coaching, and that whole like sucker, like you said, like she just sucked all out of me. And, yeah, now she's posting hey, I lost 8 pounds in a week taking this one tablet once a day. And I think part of me too is that I know that that's a false statement, because you're showing up and doing your workouts 30 minutes every day, so I can see you. You're drinking Shakeology every day, because I can see that, because you're tracking it in the BOD app with a picture. I mean, like, so it's like all these things. So I just want to be like, liar, you're lying. Like, yeah, I help you, but it's not the only thing. And so that's my big thing too, is that it's like the falsification of stuff too, just really, really gets at me. And then today I see that she canceled her preferred customer membership, which means she's not going to be doing Shakeology anymore, which is fine. And at this point, like after hearing you say that, Kim, like today when I saw the email come through, I was kind of like, whatever. Like I have tried, I have coached, I gave umpteen hours, minutes of my day to helping you, and you want to go another path, you want to take the easy path, that's totally fine. People will see that though. That's the other thing too, that I've just like this particular person, she has done Tupperware, she's done Pampered Chef, she's done Beachbody, she's done
Osborne
books. Yeah, see, exactly. She's done so many things, and it's just like people are going to see or do see that you just hop. If you don't have that quick money income, then you're out. So, and now she's sharing that she's a top leader on this new thing, and I'm just kind of like, you know what? Good for you. Kudos. Hope it works out. See you later.
History has shown.
Well, and that's, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that's the whole trust with her audience. Like her audience sees that, well, she's tried all these great things. And, a lot of times, sometimes people just have to try some things to see. But, if she cancels her Shakeology now and she still takes this pill, like, is she going to start seeing the success that like she's been seeing? I mean, it's hard to say. So yeah, like Kim said, I mean, you got to tell your story, and we just have to keep being authentic and truthful. And I think that's kind of like, I don't know if you guys watched the National Wake Up Call this week, but that's kind of what she said, is she's like, people can see through when you like falsely, if you're not being truthful, then people aren't dumb. So, but yeah, stay in your own lane. That's all we can do.
That's all we can do. Yeah, I just think the hardest thing is trying to get your eyes diverted off of it, because it is like, it just hurts where you just want to keep seeing like, what is it now? Or you kind of want to go back and be like, did she fail yet? Like you kind of just want that like satisfaction, but we love them.
To the point too, that I even reached out to her and I just said, I asked, because I had people asking me like, what is she doing? What's this new tablet she's talking about? Because they thought it was some Beachbody thing, which kind of made me chuckle that they know her as being a Beachbody coach and somebody who does Beachbody. But so I, had to tell them, whatever, I'll reach out and I'll figure out what it is, but no, it's not. And she's like, oh, well, and she just totally shuts down when she's being called out on her crap. And so, and I have privately, I haven't done it like social on like blast to her page or anything, but I also like, shoot, I just lost my train of thought. Yep, I don't remember what I was going to talk about. I think just that knowing
that people can see what she's doing, and
yeah, they'll see it. They like, oh, she was going through my friends list. That was the other thing. So yeah. I know that there's no way she knows certain people.
Mhm.
Like, I know that. So
Mhm.
I just sent her a message, and I was just quite like black and white frank, like, congratulations. I hope it works out for you. Please be authentic and sharing, and do not scroll my friends list. And she replied back, and she's like, oh, I'm not, I just blah, blah, blah. And I just said, that's okay. I don't need an explanation. Just
Mhm.
FYI,
Mhm.
please don't. I'm kindly asking you, as somebody who has known you your whole life, please
Mhm.
don't. So
That it just hurts, you know.
yeah, that is what irritates me more.
Mhm.
Like you said, there's so many things out there, and like other people who follow me, they're like, oh, I'm not going to do that. I just love watching your stories because you're so motivating, but I have a Peloton. Or like this one girl, she has like all the pellets. She has like the mirror, the bike, what's the new
The treadmill or the
sitter thing,
Mhm.
whatever. Anyway, she has all those things. She's like, yeah, my gym's pretty set up, but I just love following you because you're so motivating. You make me go down into my gym. Okay, cool. And I always reply with, I'm so glad you have something that works for you.
Mhm.
Continue to tune in. That's what I'm here for, you know?
Mhm.
So again, like there, like I really don't care. It is that personal touch on it that just really
Mhm.
hurts, drives you absolutely bonkers.
Uh-huh.
And I would love to unfollow and unfriend, but she's still a challenger, and she's still so active and tags me in her stories. So I share them and tag her. I mean, literally. So I'm hoping that like by me sharing it too, people are like, oh, that's what she's doing. And then they come follow me instead.
True. I know. Eventually it'll work itself out one way or the other.
So I totally thank you, Kim. And thanks for like jumping in and talking about it, because I was just, my mom's so funny because she reaches out and she does, my parents like are finally on board and doing my workout. And so it's exciting. Dad has had it for over a year, but so my mom, she's like, oh, I'm going to just comment on your stuff. And I'm like, well, you need to, you don't have to do that. They'll find out.
They will. And yeah, it's one of those things that history will repeat itself. I'm just going to say.
Exactly.
But
No, that's just good to hear. And I think it's just beneficial that it happens no matter where. Like, we're all in this together, but Ashley and I are different. You and I are different. So it doesn't matter like what your story is. It just happens to everybody.
That's true too. Yeah. That's a good point. Awesome. Well, anything else you guys wanted to talk about today? I think we got 5 minutes left. Awesome.
No. I'll reach out and see what I can find out Super Saturday and
keep our team updated. That would be awesome.
Yeah. I can do.
Awesome. All right. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Okay, see, short and sweet. That was not too painful, was it? I mean, it wasn't terribly painful for me, but it just really did put me back in that headspace of what it was like to be a coach and be trying really hard and have people either reject what you had to offer or do something else, and you find out they start doing something else. Meanwhile, you've been working your butt off, and you don't get that, the problem isn't you. The problem is this thing that you joined. And the likelihood of you being able to make quote unquote money is slim and next to none, which I'm going to bring up. Where is this? Hang on a second. I have it here somewhere. I have a whole bunch of pictures of Ash. If you follow me covering on passive, then you know who Ash is. Where is Dr. Taylor's thing? There is it here. Okay. Because I want to look at this again. With Beachbody, there's something like 400,000 coaches. Okay. So you guys can see this now, I hope. Dr. John Taylor had this made, and I want to say it's for new skin. And this is for the highest level person, very tippy top there, blue diamond. And, he had somebody, he paid them to like draw out the overall structure. And as you can see, it keeps on going down, 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 down. But think about, you're coming in down here. And so to get to the top, somehow you're going to have to fight all the way up here. You're going to have to bypass all of these people. Does that really look doable? It's not. Let's say that you do get to, okay, like with Beachbody, you're a diamond if you have, you have a total of 12 people on your team. And there's, I think it's 4 on each side, and then 2 of those have gone emerald, meaning they have 2 more on their side. I think that's how it works. Like, it's been a minute since I've looked that stuff up. But the likelihood of finding enough people to do that, and another friend of mine, she joined right at the same time, someone who is like a high up there, 15-star diamond, that is like the top rank. But later on found out, or I think I found out after I went anti-mlm, somebody told me that this coach that, became a 15-star diamond, at the time, there wasn't a lot of Facebook ads, and she had a background in marketing, and she started running ads. And so that's how she was getting people. And so my friend was doing all the things like what I was doing, all the things. And she was, she has a mom, and she has, young kids and everything. So she was in that mom group, but she couldn't hold the rank of diamond. I couldn't hold the rank of emerald, which is just having 2 people, 1 on each side. And most people who join Beachbody can't even get to emerald. That's the thing. And the majority of people who are in the ranks, the majority of people sit at emerald, but you can lose it. As soon as one person falls off, you are no longer emerald. Yes, you are told you have the lifetime status, lifetime rank of emerald, but you're not going to actually be an emerald coach because you don't have that other person. And it ends up being very self-defeating. And I became very self-deprecating. And it can become very, very depressing because especially if you see other people and you're like doing the same things, and it's like they seem to have success, but you're having nothing. But what you don't realize at the time is that the quote success that you see, you're not looking at your profits and loss, and you're not looking at the amount of time that you're spending working this quote business. You're not taking any of those things into consideration whatsoever. Oh, Magical Nev says, when I got sucked into Herbalife, I thought I could. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. Hey, Lamar, how are you doing? You missed most everything, but you get to hear me anyway. You don't get to hear a song, though, tonight. But, I mean, that's what people just don't seem to get, that they're coming in way down here on any of these things. And they're trying to get up here. And it's just not built so that anybody can come in and rank advance to get up there, unless you have one hell of a network. And sometimes people do come in, and we also don't know how they're placed in the background, because there are backroom deals where somebody, for instance, I know of a Beachbody coach who was married to a professional athlete. Do you think that person did well? Of course they did. But we also don't know if she was handed over some people underneath her and built that up, because there are some things that can go on behind closed doors that we're just not privy to, Okay, tomorrow, let me tell you what's going on tomorrow. Hang on a second, and I'll look and see what it is called. We're back with On Passive tomorrow. And yes, so we are going to be looking at, I think it's the most recent Indian webinar where Ash claims he hired a judge. Now, as far as I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't look this up, and maybe I am wrong, judges are appointed. It's not like you can just fill out an application to become a judge. It's like, boom, you're a judge, right? So how is it that he hired a judge? Does he mean he hired an attorney who used to be a judge? And even that, it's coming out of my mouth, that seems kind of weird, because then I want to think like, Well, then why isn't that person in that position as a judge anymore? What happened? Why wouldn't they go back into private practice? Is Ash really able to afford to do something like that? Because I would think someone who has been a judge would command top dollars. And it goes back to, where the hell is Ash getting all this money if he's actually paying for these things? Where is this money coming from? GDI can't be paying that well. It just can't, you know? Anyway, that is it for the night. It's a short one, but hey, I think it was fun. It was fun for me to reflect with you guys about what it was like when I was a Beachbody coach. And let me know if you would like me to do another video or something about, looking at some of these Beachbody calls, because they are kind of, they're cringe. Let's just face it. They're all cringy. Okay. So Angel says maybe he hired a judge as a legal consultant, but likely in order to do that, they'd have to be a retired judge. Yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing. You just can't go out and hire a judge, GDI isn't paying off. It wouldn't need GoFounders. Oh, yeah. He wouldn't need GoFounders. Anyway, I'm going to get down on the go-go. And I have actually been watching. I don't know if when it came out, I don't remember, but it's called Your Honor. And I want to say it's either on Showtime or HBO Max. I don't remember which, but Bryan Cranston stars in it. So if you're looking for something like good to watch, it's good drama. I'm watching that. His son accidentally kills someone, and the kid that he kills is the child of the head of the mafia in New Orleans. That's the premise of the series of Your Honor. So if you're looking for something to watch, I recommend Your Honor. Anyway, you guys, I'm going to get down on the go-go, but we'll be back tomorrow. I think I have the stream that's supposed to start early, like 6, if I remember correctly, or 6:45, something like that. But earlier than, today, because I'm able to do it earlier. Anyway, have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you for my moderators for being here. Thank you for participating in the chat. Thank you for being a lurker and just hanging out with me for a little bit. And don't forget, you are beautiful and I love you. Good night, and I will see you tomorrow.